Giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rachakwadash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to the argument that's out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video, or a sort of quick video. It's June, right? And, we all know about this, Bishop Nathaniel, his infamous "It's June, ain't no microchips" and stuff like that. We all know that. But yeah, man, going back into it, another dose of edification on Revelation 13. Now, what I always say before I even continue, what I always say is that, in order, because a lot of y'all, that have a problem with Revelation 13, a lot of you that have a problem with it, you never read the entire thing. You're just stuck at Revelation 13 and 16, and there's a reason why it's down below, because you got to read the whole thing, right? See, the Lord didn't, it didn't just come out of nowhere, man, right? You got to get the full breakdown of the full chapter, all right? But for this video's sake, just, kind of going to breeze through this a little bit. We're going to focus on Revelation 13 and 16. And another thing before I continue on, this mark of the beast thing, the device itself, yeah, it's a little different. But as far as the concept and as far as this happening of like the itself, like the, it itself happening, is not new. All right, it's not new. Ptolemy did it, Babylon did it, right? Assyria, I believe, did it, right? It's just not new. But like I said, it's just more technology now. That's all, right? So this is the book of Revelation 13 and 16. He calls of all, both small or great, rich or poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Now, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, all right? Now, we go to this word mark. Now, you got to know English, right? English. You have, I'll show you in a minute, all right? Stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamp on the forehead or right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded on horses. So we see that, right? So what we do now, and this is charagma, all right? Now what we do now is we go into the root word. Now we have charax or charax, right? Pale or stake palisade. Okay, so now we see it's still something that's physical, all right? Now what I also wanted to do, or you have a charasso right here, another root word, charasso. To write with reference, okay, still physical, as we see, to fill with writing, to draw up writing and writing. So, you have charasso, charax, and charagma, all right, or grapho, right? This is grapho here. But anyway, let's go back, because I'm gonna show you something too. This is why English is ridiculous. Like, you have the word world that has a crazy amount of different definitions. You just gotta understand, how English works. All right. That sounds kind of crazy, because you're like, well, I speak it, so why won't I understand, how it works? Well, because when you deal with the scriptures, you're dealing with words, things that school might have taught you, but because you grew up not even really paying attention to it, now you're dealing with the scriptures, and now it's just like, so because school, it's fresh in your mind. You got words that have the same word that have totally different definitions. Well, all you got to do is take that school logic and put it towards this, and it's just like, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. All right. So, now, mark has like 3 or 4 different definitions in the Bible. One of them is what just popped up. I just typed in Mark, look what popped up, Mark, because it's a name. Now, and you see how confusing it is, because it said, did you mean to perform the word search for Mark? Right? See how confusing that is? So we have Mark. All right. A mark upon Cain. Okay, let's see what that says. Obviously, this is going to be completely different from, as you can already see, is already different. A banner signaling. Okay. Kind of the same, I guess you could say, because, you're going to have a, signal, So let's get, for example, Ezekiel 9. Let's get Ezekiel 9, just to show you real quick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do two more things. We're going to go into the old Bible, and we're going to go into the etymology app, which like I said, I keep saying, is literally one of the best apps out there. All right. So a mark, tav, all right. Desire mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. Okay, so you see another definition. I just read a totally like another definition in Genesis. All right, so this is an old, another definition, man. All right, so it's a few things that you got to do before you open up the Bible. All right, understand the Isaiah 28:9, knowing how to read the Bible, precept here, precept there, here a little, there a little, words. All right, words. You got to look at videos. You got to pray to the Lord. All right, there's steps to this thing. You know what I mean? A lot of us were taught wrong. So we opened up the Bible thinking that we had, that we had it down. You got people out here that say they read the Bible front to back. Well, okay, ask them to break down Genesis 1:1 correctly, and they can't do it because you have to go into words. That's very important, man. That is a big, big step before you open up the Bible. You have to understand English, right, and how English works, and understand these words. And that's why the YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, he gave us this technology, that we could easily do it, right? Only reason it's taking me extra long to even do this is because it's a video, so I gotta be a little more thorough with it, I guess, if you want to call it that. So now we're gonna go into the John Wycliffe Bible. Now imagine if I wasn't doing this video, and I just outright did it. It only been like 5 minutes, if that, right? Revelation 13:16. As you can see, is really, really hard to read, right? But I'm gonna highlight it the best I can. Yeah. Right? And he shall make all, this is John Wycliffe Bible 1382. He shall make all, small and great, rich and poor, and free men and bondmen to have a character, or if you want to say character or corrector or something on the lines of that. Because remember, you have charagma, you have charax, you have character, all right? And their right hand, either in their foreheads or heatus, that no man might buy or may buy, all right? So we're going to get this word here in the online etymology real quick, all right? Really simple, man. This is something that a lot of groups have a problem with us for, man. With this. Oh, I gotta spell it in character. Hold on. I gotta spell it the way English, because this is another word. So this is what it was in the 14th century. Again, that was the Bible of 1382. All right, character, as you can see right here, right? Really, really simple. Symbol or drawing. This is really important, man. This is a really, really important subject, and I'm gonna get why. Symbol or drawing used in sorcery, right? Hey, we see it. Engraved mark, all right? Engraved mark. To engrave, right? So clearly, this is not talking about embargo or anything that these other camps, say, or these other groups say. I can't really think of all the stuff that they keep saying off the top of my head. They get, and another thing they do is they get the image of the beast and the mark of the beast all wrong. All right. They get it all wrong. All right. And see, this is why I say you need the full breakdown of the full chapter in order for it to really, really make sense to you. Well, number one, the Spirit got to be with you, to be honest. Let's just be honest, right? If you still have an issue somehow, read the full chapter, get the full breakdown, and then it'll make even more sense. It makes sense now just reading 16, but everybody learns differently. All right. Now, that was supposed to be the last thing, but I'm gonna get why this is so important. All right. Let's get Revelation 14 now. All right, let's get Revelation 14. This is very, very important. We sound like broken records, and we're going to continue to do that. Go over this because this is a life or death situation. All right. This is something that let me read it. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Notice it didn't say right hand this time, it just said hand. Wherever, put in your toe, right? Put in your knee, right? You put it in places that, people always like putting places in, things in places now, but whatever. It says, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. That's like and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So this is something that you can't repent from, and that's why it's so important. Once you take it, you're done. We've heard groups sit up there and say, yeah, well, you could insert it and take it out. And I got news for you too, man. It ain't gonna be like that, right? Ain't gonna be like that. That thing might be so small, right? You'll barely be able to feel that, man. By the time that stuff comes out, that thing might be so small, right? And the way they want to insert it, you can't just simply just take it out, man. You know what I mean? But let's say in a hypothetical situation, right? Let's say you could. Why put it in your skin in the first place? Yeah, you just go ahead and take it and then take it out. Why are you even thinking like that? Why are you teaching people to go even accept it in the first place? Nah, man. Once you take that, that's it, man. That's it. Once you take it, that's it. It's a very, very important topic. And you people, you camps and whoever else, y'all here playing games, man. Y'all here playing games with these people, with your lives and your followers' lives when it comes to that. It's not up to us, man. Our job is to put the message out, right? Whether you hear, whether you forbear, you're going to know that prophets were among you. That's all I got on that. Shalom.